Hey y'all, hold up. Let's see. How are you feeling, girl? I tell you, it's been. Hey Rose, how are you feeling, girl? It's been an emotional roller coaster, I tell you that. Coach Caprice, you're here. Hi, Robbie. Working Moms Coach. How y'all doing? I was just trying to find that place in the word that talks about think on these things, and I just found it right before I came in. So for anybody who wants to meditate on this, it's Philippians 4:8. Hey, Shawnee. And it says, whatever is true, whatever is worthy of reverence, honorable, seemly, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely and lovable, whatever is kind, winsome, gracious, if there is any virtue and excellence, if there is anything worthy of praise, think on and weigh and take account of these things. Fix your mind on them. I needed that. So I am feeling better. I am feeling better. And I hope that you all are encouraged as you're on here tonight. I am so grateful that the schedule has worked out the way that it has, because when these things are planned for Wise Well Women Live, I don't know what's going to happen. But God is so faithful. He loves the wild. Hey, maybe we a little bit of that too. He loves wise, well women so much. Hey, God's girl, that he sends us who we need. And I feel like it's like that, I want to add something here, because we have someone in here. I want you to be able to, even after tonight, I want you to be able to hook up with her. And let me just write this in here. We're going to be talking about releasing emotional weight tonight. Releasing emotional weight. Fab Fit by Carla. So good to see you. Thank you. Hi, Yinka. Let Coach Caprice in. Hold on. Let me make sure I'm doing this right. Oh my goodness, Coach Caprice. It says, maybe you need to request me, because it says that you're unable to join. So I'm not sure what that means. So would you go out and then try to come back in, or you request me? If there's anyone who's watching and you're like really fluent with IG live stuff, if you have some advice to offer us, do that. But Coach Caprice, I could not request you. It said unable to join, so you may have to request me. Let me try something else. Yeah, it won't let me do that. Okay, let's try this now. Yes!
Hey,
Live from Los Angeles, California. We both got the blue going too.
see,
Hey,
Hello.
hey, I just want to say, I was just saying to the group too, and, welcome guys and ladies. I was saying, like, you know, when we planned this out, I don't even know if it was May yet, or if so, May was brand new, and knowing what it is that you do and how you help your clients to overcome those emotional weights that literally try to pull you down. I don't know if you've ever read the book A Course in Weight Loss by Marianne Williamson.
No, but I've heard good things.
It is a really good book, y'all. So in this book, she says that emotional weight is like a magnet.
Wow.
And even if you lose the physical weight, that the emotional weight, if you didn't release that in your process, it will begin to attract back that physical weight until it is back on again. And when I tell you, I know she's not lying about that because I have experienced it.
Yeah.
I've lost over 100 pounds, 102. I always have to add my two on there.
They matter.
Okay? And when I tell you, and I have to watch how I say this in mixed company, but the losing the weight part, it became kind of like a science. So that wasn't like the thing. It's like, you're eating at a deficit, you're working out, we're doing these things. Hey, Stacy, thank you for being here. But what I wasn't prepared for was life after that,
Right.
after I got to the goal. So when other emotional trauma and psychological trauma happened, I reverted back to those old habits of emotional eating and binge eating and stuff like that. So yeah. And when you think about the type of week that we have had,
Yeah.
my God, I saw, y'all, can y'all give it up for Coach Caprice with some hearts since we can't hear applause? Send up the hearts for her, please. You know, so grateful to have you here. I saw
Thank
a post that you put up today, and you said, I had to do 2 workouts today.
Oh, yes.
Talk about that.
So the thing was, it's like, so the morning I went to this field and
Mhm.
and I tried to just go business as normal. And I
Mhm.
went to the field, and I tried to go business as normal, and the workout was trash. It was absolutely terrible. So, but it's like I just couldn't give everything I had. And I realized, so like once I got back home, I realized I'm like, I got to my computer, and I'm just trying to like check my emails, and I'm just like, I'm not okay. This
Mm.
isn't well. Like I'm not okay with my Black people becoming hashtags at such an alarming rate. And so I had to do a self-assessment and be like, wow, I am feeling an increase in anxiety and stress, and I'm feeling overwhelmed. So I had to go back to that field, and I had to just get it all out. I had to get all of my frustrations out. So that second workout was what really made me feel amazing.
I love that you had the awareness to say, I'm not okay. It is not, sometimes I feel like there's this idea that you're not being a good Christian or something if you're mad or angry or hurting, like
Yeah.
some kind of way, those are negative things. Those are healthy emotions,
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
Anger is a healthy emotion. It's if you are taking that and then you are turning it into hatred, you are using it to murder people, let's say, then that's not healthy. But these things that we're feeling, they have to be like called out. That stuff is real. And you said that you went back and you had to do it again, do that workout again. So it's like for you, doing these workouts, doing your workout is beyond like, oh, let me do this because I'm trying to, have my back out this summer. Like
Yeah.
it's not, you're not using fitness like that.
No, like I literally, my mental health is very important to me. And so I needed to go back to that field. I needed to yell. I mean, I didn't care
Mm.
who was around. I didn't care who was walking on the track. I needed to yell. I needed to jump. I needed to jump higher than I had jumped like that morning, or like that
Mhm.
whatever the case, was. I needed to do whatever it was that was necessary for me to feel a release, a healthy release, so that I felt better and I felt in, because when you're feeling that much stress on your body, for me, I need to feel a little bit of control, just a little bit of control. And my workouts is something that I was able to control in that time and in that space and in
Mm.
that season, in that hour, right? So
Mhm.
I had to jump higher. I had to do more push-ups. Like I didn't time anything. I didn't do any reps. I just kept going and going until I felt better, until I felt that release. And so that's why working out is a way for me to do something for my mental health. And I just want to encourage more people to do that, because it's just like your body is made to move. Like we are
Mm.
we are we are not a tree, and that's why there's so many standing desks everywhere, because we're supposed to be moving. And we have to address the fact that we are living in a time where it's impossible to not have any stress at all, right? So
That is true.
stress is something that we're going to deal with for the rest of our life, okay? So, but if you find an outlet that you can relieve your stress, I need you to do it consistently. And working out is the way that I constantly relieve my stress. Working out and laughing, working out
Mm.
and laugh. So I just want to laugh more and I want to move more, and that's my
Yeah.
mission.
And those are things that have to be done purposefully. Like you don't have to
Yes.
feel like doing them to do them.
Yeah.
It and for me, it has looked like because I really love riding my bike. Sometimes it's just me getting on my bike and just riding or just walking. It may not be running the bleachers for you, but it might be hula hooping. I've seen people get steps and trampolines and all these different things, whatever the movement is. Could you talk about what it does to us physically? I believe that it like releases like happy
Oh,
hormones and
absolutely,
stuff.
definitely. So exercise impacts us like immediately. So as soon as we begin exercising, like our bodies release hormones, these brain chemicals called endorphins. I mean, we know it to be this happy hormone, this good feeling. So as soon as we begin exercising, like it's being released through our body. So it's like that's why we call it runner's high. So you kind of
Mhm.
get like that second win, and it's like, okay, you said you were going to do 2 miles, but you end up doing 3, because your body starts to kick into this overdrive, and you're releasing these endorphins. So the neurotransmitters that literally come from your brain down to your ankles, to your
Mhm.
toes. And it's amazing the way that you begin to feel, simply because you were intentional and decided to move your body. So
Mhm.
the endorphins that are being released throughout your body, they're going to help you increase your productivity. You're going to increase your mental dexterity. So you're going to have more
Mhm.
clarity. So people literally use exercise to have more emotional intelligence, so they can make better decisions. Like I will be like, yo, I need to go do some push-ups before I make an important decision. So,
Oh, wow.
like seriously, because it helps me think better. Like it's not
Uh-huh.
just something that I do because for fun. I mean, I do it for fun, of course, too. But it's science. It's
Yeah.
something that Mayo Clinic teaches. It's something that all of these institutions are teaching, because it's backed by science. It's important that we use our body to get rid of the brain fog that is in our mind,
Mhm.
so that we can move in clarity and move in focus, because there are so many things. We rely on our bodies to do so much. We rely on our bodies to get us out of the bed, like move out of the shower, like get out of the car. You that's like a squat, that's a lunge, that's a leg raise right there. Okay, so when you are starting to move and you're releasing these endorphins, that feel good chemical, you are allowing your body to realign itself and move in clarity and more productivity, releasing the brain fog, and use more. Oh my God, I lost the word. I was trying
Like
to
the endorphins you were
read
mentioning.
the question.
Yeah, this is a great question. She wanted to know, do some people have fewer
That's a
endorphins?
good question. That's a good
Because,
question. So I think
yeah.
that question is, what is your relationship with fitness? So some people have a relationship with fitness where they literally just don't like working out.
Mm-hmm.
And that negative feeling that you have towards working out can hinder you, because you immediately have this blockage towards it, right? So you aren't going to release less endorphins while you exercise. So, okay, so John and Candace aren't going
Mm-hmm.
to release more or less endorphins when they do a workout. If they're both are doing 30 minutes of workout, they're going to both release endorphins, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't feel that chemical, then if you don't feel better when you're working out, I would just recommend finding something that you
Mm-hmm.
actually like to do, right? So if you
And it's
do
the
not
difference.
like boot camp, stop doing boot camp.
Yeah. But sometimes
So
we feel like we should do that. And it's interesting
thank
because
you so
the
much.
way you're talking about exercise right now, you're talking about exercising for mental and emotional health, which is a
Absolutely.
different way we usually hear this conversation. We
Yeah.
hear it in terms of, okay, if you're trying to build your quads, you need to be doing this. We hear it in terms of what the physical benefits are mostly. And yeah, those things matter too. There are some very fit people on here. There's some trainers in the chat tonight. There are people who work out. I know that Christy, who asked that question, is someone who does work out. So she's not going to not do it because she doesn't like it. She
Yeah.
just may not be feeling it sometimes, but does it anyway. But I like that you're approaching it in terms of the benefit to mental health.
Yes.
And more than anything, at the end, perhaps you should be enjoying it.
Yes. Because
Mm-hmm.
I don't want you to develop this relationship with exercise where it's so mundane and you hate it. It's on your calendar. And it's like, oh my God, I have to do this. And then you develop this slight little anxiety about it. It's like, oh my God, at 4 o'clock, I have to go do Zumba. Oh my God, at 4 o'clock, I have to do this Pilates and this. And then it's like, that's kind of the opposite of the mental health aspect that we're
Mm-hmm.
talking about, because mental health is comprised of your social, emotional, and psychological well-being. So if you have an increase of stress, anxiety, depression, loneliness, fear,
Mm-hmm.
negative thoughts, then you need to take a self-assessment, because when you have an excess of any of those things, that is how you start operating in dis-ease. When you are operating in dis-ease, then you are more than likely to begin to move towards mental illness. And I don't want that for anybody, right?
Right.
So in order to move away from the spectrum of mental illness, you have to decrease the amount of stress, anxiety, depression, loneliness, fear that you are feeling, so that you can move towards mental wellness and mental health.
Mm-hmm.
So
And to
if you
that
are having
point,
anxiety about exercise, then you want to make sure that you're having fun with it.
right. And
Or
to
you may
that
not
point
have fun,
about,
you're just like, it's happening.
yeah. And what you were even saying about feeling
Yes,
depressed and
exactly.
feeling anxious and all of that kind of stuff, it made me think about how our timelines are just filled with just a barrage of traumatic images, videos, and things like that, tragic things. And there are so many studies that show that when you watch the videos in particular, that people who are already prone to anxiety and depression, that those things are a trigger, that it can trigger PTSD from past traumas that you have just from you coming in contact over and over and over and over again, seeing those images. I was talking to a friend earlier today, and she's someone that's really on it. She's on the pulse of like what's going on. And so she had said to me, ooh, Floyd's family is on live right now, CNN live, and they're going off, she was saying. And I said, I appreciate you telling me that, but I don't want to watch that. Mm-hmm. I will read about it later, but I don't want to see that. And you have to, yes, we do not need to keep posting it. Kirk Franklin, love him. This is nothing against him, but he did a post maybe a week or so ago, and this was about, the other thing at this point, but he was talking about, how we should be watching the videos for the same reason that Mamie Till wanted Emmett Till's casket open, so you can see what they're doing to us. That was his thing, like, make yourself watch it. But I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to do it. Like, when I think about how I'm already feeling, how I'm already having to try to overcome in my thinking, I know that those videos and things like that would send me over the edge. So I just want to say, for anyone who's kind of got caught up in that slightly addictive pursuit of more and more details, girl, don't watch it. You don't need to know anything else. You know enough as it is.
Yes, absolutely. For me, I say, whenever you receive information, whether it be from myself, whether it be from you, eat the meat and spit out the bones. Okay. Right. So whenever I give any type of advice, I mean, I am a coach, I am a certified professional, but eat the meat and spit out the bones. So my advice is to disengage. Okay. So do what you need to do for your mental health. Okay. Yeah. I believe that if you know that those videos are going to trigger you, the images are going to make you feel like hiding and putting your face into a pillow and just crying the rest of the night away, then disengage. Okay. Because your mental health is more important for showing up for your family, showing up for your friends, and being able to actually pick up the phone and call, or pick up, go on the internet and sign the petition, because you could be so emotionally drained that you don't even have any time to do anything else to actually be the change that you wish to see in this world.
Right. So, and you look up and your whole thing is gone. Keola is here, and she does a lot of talk and teaching around these things too, mental and emotional well-being, physical well-being too. And she made a comment, I hope I don't miss it, but she talked about how watching this stuff and over-consuming this stuff keeps you from being able to make new memories.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I have a question for you. You are really passionate about helping people to overcome the obstacles that get in the way of their wellness. And it's interesting because I don't have what I call a skinny past. Here's what I mean by that. I didn't used to be skinny or slim, but then I gained weight in college. Or I was always a normal weight, but then I had a baby and I gained weight. Or I went through a terrible breakup and I've always been big. Like, I was born like this. I see some hearts, so I don't know if that means people are like saying you're true or they're relating, but somebody knows what I mean. But I find it like, it just blesses my soul that when I look at you, you don't appear to be someone who has maybe fought the battle of obesity yourself, but I know that you have been through something where you had to overcome and fight for wellness, because I was on her website, y'all, and I saw this line that said, given the personal journey of our founder, and then it says some other stuff, she is able to work with people who are ready to take fully control of their lives, no matter what may have been in the way before. And you can only, let me tell you something, because there's some believers on here.
Yeah.
Only people who've been through something can make that statement. So I'm curious to know, and you share as much as you want to share, but what life experience brought you into this mindset that nothing is going to get in the way of me prospering in health?
I bet I gotta sing like, you don't know my story.
Oh, someone said I need to get your book. I started. I started. So I'm on it. But I was like, ooh, okay.
Yes.
This
So
is not somebody trying to sell me something. This is
I
somebody who
love
has lived this.
I love this question because, people look at me and just like, you are a toothpick. How did you write a book about losing weight? You've never been overweight a day in your life, little girl. How? Make it make sense. Um, but I've been overweight with shame. I've been overweight with depression. I've been overweight with anxiety and fear. I was mad at God for a whole lot of reasons. I was mad that God gave me amnesia. I don't remember the first 19 years of my life. And
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Really?
correct. I don't remember. Okay. So I'll give you the
I'm
Cliff
not
Notes
on that
version.
part yet. I didn't make it there yet.
I see. Okay. So it's actually all the way in the back. If you go all the way to the back, my testimony is like all the way on 151. Okay, so
Okay.
I'll give you the Cliff Notes version. But really quick, thank you so much for inviting me on here. I did not say that, but thank you so much
Oh,
for this.
thank you for being here.
Any
Y'all too.
chance that I get to share my testimony and share about how God has graced me to overcome, for lack of better words, these amazing trials and tribulations, I surely will give him all the glory. So she said start from another thing. I have to. She was at my book. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So when I was 14, I was in a major car accident. I had to relearn to walk. When I was 17, I was in another car accident. We hit that car and we spun out and we started having, and I started having seizures. And I was 19. I was in class and I had a seizure and I hit my head on the concrete. I woke up at the hospital. I didn't know my name. So I was diagnosed with retrograde amnesia. And then and I started getting better and I was seizure free for a while. And my dad took me to the gym and I fell in love with fitness and I got certified as a trainer. And then, I had a gym and all these wonderful things. And in 2018, I had a seizure and I coded. So I went code blue and I woke up from this coma. And so long story long, I don't remember the first 19 years of my life because of amnesia. So I have been through things that really should have stopped me, but and they weighed me down. Like I was ashamed to have seizures. I was ashamed to have epilepsy because I never knew anybody that had epilepsy. So when people, and I was helping people lose weight for so many, I've been a trainer for 7 years in November. And so I have been helping people lose weight for a very long time, like a really long time. But I started to realize along my journey that it's so much more than physical pounds that people need to get rid of. Like, because it's just, that's not the root of the problem. Like we have to get a little bit deeper because why did you, like how did, we have to map this out. Like, how did you gain weight in the first place? So I started to go on my own journey of healing, my own journey of wholeness. And I didn't necessarily have to lose physical pounds. I had to lose the pounds of shame. I was ashamed of epilepsy. I was ashamed of and even I was an advocate of epilepsy. I would do all the walks and runs, but I was still deeply ashamed because I would just wake up from a seizure and there would be people standing over me and I was embarrassed. And I had to just really, I had several come to Jesus moments. Be like, okay, so when you gonna take this cup from me?
Shame is a beast.
It's a
And
painful emotion.
it is. And I was
Painful
recently
emotion.
in a small group in my church where we studied Brene Brown's book called I Thought It Was Just Me. And yeah, you would love that book. And it is about her studies on shame and vulnerability. And she talks about the categories of shame. Health is one of them. Family is one of them. Body image. There's so many different, ones around it. Um, and she talks about how it shows up in the body, like you can feel it. And the thing is, it's like we don't really talk about that emotion very much. And everybody experiences it
Yes.
because we see how it plays out in their life. And then recognizing when you are experiencing it is one of the things that I have found is helpful. It almost like recognizing when you're doing it brings it down.
Yes, we have to identify
Mhm.
it. Once we can
Yeah.
identify the shame, we are able to release it. Because if we aren't able to identify any shame, then we can't put a name to these things. We have to put a
Mhm.
name to the fact that, wow, I am walking in unforgiveness. Unforgiveness will literally make you sick.
Mm.
Literally. So we have to like identify the things that we are dealing with so that we can move
Mhm.
forward in wholeness, because diets just don't get to the root of the problem. Like that's the whole basis of what I had to learn on my journey of starting to help people, because I
Mhm.
was trying workouts and meal plans for years and it was
Uh-huh.
like, this is lit. However, we gotta peel back more layers, because the same way that I want my doctors to treat me as a whole patient, I want to treat my clients as a whole person. Like, you're more than just a workout plan and a meal plan with recipes and smoothies
Mhm.
and green beans and salmon. I have to treat you as, someone that has gone through emotional things. Like, you are more than that. And so it
Mhm.
took me a while to understand. So that's why I decided that, okay, I want to teach people how to invite God into their fitness journey. And no, every single person that I thank you so much, absolutely, every single person that I train isn't a Christian, but
Mhm.
a lot of them are.
Mhm.
So, and I just think that that's the space that I'm in, because we have to bundle it.
Yeah, and I want to ask you about that.
Yes.
How do you incorporate your faith into your own, training and things like that? And then how do you teach other people to do it? Because sometimes I think people think they're doing faith and fitness, and it's actually not. And I can say that because I remember doing that myself. I remember being like on a treadmill, this is probably over a decade ago, had my headphones in and I was listening to you remember the Jesus album by Shekinah Glory? That thing was a bop. I mean, it sounds like house music, I'm telling you. And welcome to those of you who are just coming in.
Thank
This
you so
is
much.
Coach Caprice, and we're talking about releasing emotional weight. So, it sounds like house music basically. And so I'm on here, like I'm getting it, and I'm thinking that I have invited God to be a part of the process. But I may as well have been listening to Two Live Crew or something, because if just listening to gospel music while you work out is not faith and fitness,
It's not.
in my opinion. That's not it.
It's not. Hey, Natalie. Okay, so this is what I believe to be true about faith and fitness, because you can listen to you can listen to secular music while you work out and still be operating in faith and fitness.
Teach this.
Like, it is well with my soul.
Yeah,
when I, but the thing for me
right.
is, I can listen to Jonathan McReynolds when I work out, or I can listen to Biggie. but
Right.
I'm still operating in faith and fitness. So I think the first thing is, some people think that you can just, okay, I'm just going to pray through my 60-second plank. Jesus got me. And it's like, yes, do that, because he will help you hold on. Let me tell you something good. But I think that we need to realize that it's more than that. Inviting God into your fitness journey is saying, yo, I need to surrender this to you, because I've been trying to do it by myself,
Oh my
and nothing
goodness.
that
I
I'm
think that,
doing, nothing that I've been
yeah.
doing is working. I
Yeah.
mean, it ain't working out. Right. And so, okay, so what am I trying? So I always start with the surrender. I believe it's definitely like the first chapter in my book. Like
I was just thinking, I was like, this
it's like
sounds so
day one.
familiar.
It's like day one, right? So
Yeah.
because it's like we have to, that's the foundation. It's like giving it back to him, because you start with the surrender, and then it's just like, okay, what are my actual goals? Because we have to do this practically. So for me, I always think like, what am I trying to get out of this? Because yes, I want to be fit and fine. Like, I'm a little vain. Like, I have to be transparent with you guys. Like, I'm vain and I want to look good. I mean, I don't think that it's wrong. I mean, I don't think it's acceptable to me for me to just be lying on this little app. Like, I'm vain. I do want to look good, but I don't want to just work out to look physically, to look aesthetically pleasing. I want to work out because I want to be a leader, and I want to be in shape for the call that God has on my life, because I want to be in shape physically, and I want to be in shape mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And if I don't move my body, I'm not going to be able to be in shape for the call he has on my life. So say, I'm just like, okay, God, I'm ready for you to elevate me and do what you told me to do. I'm ready to, use my mouth and just like, use my testimony and whatever you want me to do. But then I'm not physically ready, or I'm not, mentally or emotionally or spiritually ready. Then how am I possibly stewarding my body well? Like, we get one body. I know I'm very young and I look like I'm 16, but I'm not. Like, so thing is, we don't wake up in new skin when we turn 30 or 40. Like, you get one body for the rest of your life. Like, you have to steward it well. So you have to take care of the body that you were given. Like, this is your house. Like, this is the house that you get to house, like, your spirit, your soul, like your heart. So you have to take care of your body. And I get so passionate, I need to calm down. But so the thing is, you have to say, I give this to you. Because I'm not out here doing sprints and burpees and high knees and jumps, so I can only look good. I'm doing those things because, one, I want to, my body belongs to God, right? And I want to be a good steward over my body. I want to take care of my body. And the benefit is that I'm gonna look a little good, okay? But the thing is like, I'm not just running this race of life for a physical trophy. I'm running for my reward that is in heaven, because I'm taking care of the body that I was given. And the other benefits are just like, oh, okay, sensational.
And on the nutrition side, because I do know in her book, Prayers Up, Weights Down, what I tell you what I really enjoy about it is the reflection. I've been doing that work and thinking on that. And I also like that there's a workout that's included. What I wanted to ask you about, though, and maybe I just haven't gotten to this part yet, it doesn't appear that you tell people a particular way that they should eat. You talk about healthy choices, but I don't see you advocating for, let's say, veganism, or you're not talking about being a pescatarian. Do you have a particular way that you eat, or is there a certain diet? And I use that term loosely because I know you are not out here on no NutriBurst and all this stuff. But do you have like a certain eating style? Girl, it's a whole nother conversation, but
Help me, Lord. Okay, so the recipes are in the back of the book. So I definitely have recommendations. And then so like when you go to the what is it called?
Yeah,
The
I
tools
see
for
that on
success. When you get to
recipe.
like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so when you get to like the tools for success, it'll talk about where I say I don't believe that everyone should be meatless, but I believe that everyone can eat meat less, right? So
Okay.
the way that I eat is I don't have a specific diet. I don't believe in diets, but my
Mm-hmm.
regimen is that I don't eat meat every day, um,
Okay.
but I eat carbs.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't believe in any specific diet. I don't believe in keto diet. It's really just Atkins from like 20 years ago. I don't believe in, I don't believe in diets, right? I believe in the fact that nutrition is obtaining the foods necessary for health and growth. So I'll say it
Mm.
again.
Okay.
Nutrition, because I'm a nutrition specialist, certified, like I help people, find foods that work for them to reach their goals.
Mm-hmm.
So nutrition is obtaining the foods necessary for health and growth. So when we think about that, we think about your macronutrients. So that's protein, carbohydrates, and fats. So I don't eliminate any food group, to help anybody with a diet. So I'm not vegan, I'm not vegetarian, I'm not pescatarian, I don't have any specific diet. I just eat
Mm-hmm.
according to my goals. So when I want to gain weight, I eat like it. When
Okay.
I want to get lean, I eat like it. I drink a lot of green smoothies. I drink every day almost,
Mm-hmm.
at least 6 days a week, just because I just, that's what I like. And I know that they're very beneficial, as far as fiber and those things. But there is no, meal plan in this book, because I say my meal plans for when they're custom and I'm writing them for a client.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a very generalized, like, hey, I really wanted to put some recipes in here because I want you to get a jump start, because we have to have somewhere to start.
Right.
But I believe in getting as many vegetables as possible, fruits, vegetables, healthy, complex carbohydrates, and drinking half your body weight in ounces of water every day. But protein is not just chicken and salmon. Like, you can get protein from black beans and lentils and all of those
Mm-hmm.
different things. So I hope that answers your
Thank you
question.
for that. It does. And by the way, if anybody else has questions, thank you, Chrissy, for your question earlier. Put them in the comments and we will read them here.
I
We'd be
sure
happy
will.
to have her. There's also a little question box. So if you have a question and you don't want your name to be attached to it, only I would see it and I won't, read it off. So I have a question that's a little personal, but hey, it might benefit somebody else. So part of my story, as you know, is that I've lost over 100 pounds, but I've also gained some weight over the past, well, from fall of 2018 up till today. So what, it's kind of like sometimes I look back and I think, why can't I tap into whatever my mindset was then? Why can't I just reactivate that? So, like, what would you say to a person like me who has achieved goals in the area of weight loss, but then has gained some weight back? Like, sometimes I feel like, why? This is not a can I do it? I know I can do it because I did that. I used to lose weight and gain all of it back,
Okay.
all of it, and then plus some. But why is it, like, what is that thing? And maybe you've seen it with some of your clients who've gained weight from something. Like, what would you say we have to do to like reset um after a weight gain?
So first thing is, I think that it was important that you said, how do I get to that mindset?
Yeah.
So, but you don't. And
Okay.
I want to discourage you. I want to encourage you. It's because you don't get back to that mindset, because that time is gone. Like,
Mm.
you are going to get to a new mindset. Like, you are in a new season now. Like, that time that time worked then. That mindset worked then. That schedule worked then. Those workouts worked then. So now, like, every time you step into a new season, you have to create new order. You have to create a new plan. You have to create a new strategy. So now we have to figure out, okay, cool. Like, this is my new goal. What am I going to do now? Like, how am I going to create a new mindset for myself? So I now I got to write new affirmations. I have to write a new word. I might need a new journal. But what I'm saying is God is doing a new thing. Like, we can't expect for God to do the same thing in this season that he did in that season, because he's doing a new thing now. So we have to have a new mindset for this new goal, this new weight loss goal. Because every single time we step into a new season of life, we have to create new order. Like, when you move, like, you have to, declutter your space. You have to take everything out of the boxes, and you have to reorganize. You have to restructure. So now we have to restructure your mindset and say, hey, this is where I am now, and this is what it is now. So I need a new plan. And the new plan is going to be bomb. The new plan is going to work, because it's where you are now. It's going to be suited for this particular season that you are in. And that worked then, and it was lit because it worked.
Yeah.
But now it's like we got to move forward, because the rearview mirror is behind you for a reason. Like because what's in front of you is more important.
Yeah. And you know what's so interesting?
But somebody got it. Okay.
Right. I got it. Rose Doc said that makes a lot of sense. Chrissy said that's
Rosemary,
good.
hey,
Tracy talked about yielding. It's so interesting. One of the things, and I need to talk more about this because one of my really close friends just said to me this past week, she said, because I share a lot of my personal life, and she said, you never talk about the accident. And that's one of the things that happened in 2018. And so I said, wow, I don't. I will have to move more into that, because I believe that there's some healing there. Yeah. But one of the things that happened in that situation was that I was hit from the back, rear-ended by a semi truck. And when you're hit from the back, you don't see it coming. Like, there's no way you could have prepared for it. There's nothing that you could have done. Like, I literally happened to glance up in the rearview mirror and saw this thing coming, and realized in that split second that there was nothing that I could do. But God, you see, I'm sitting here.
Right, exactly. Oh my gosh.
The people in front of me that my car got hurled into, they got whiplash. Wow. And I walked out and was comforting people. But what I wanted to say, and I'll talk more about that another time. I don't think I'm all the way there yet, but I remember, and even now I have to sometimes talk myself through when I'm driving. A lot of times I would be trying to drive and look in the rearview mirror at the same time. And it's really difficult to do, and you're completely occupied. So I'm like, I know I should be looking here, but then I'm like, oh shoot, because I'm trying to, because fear, it set up so much fear that I had this overwhelming fear all the time that something bad is going to happen to me that I can't prepare for, that I won't see coming, and there won't be anything that I can do, but something's going to happen to me. And so I would be looking in the rearview mirror to make sure at least I won't be caught off guard this time, And so I'm in the car and I'll be looking in the rearview mirror, and in my head I'm thinking, stop, 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 stop. Are they going to stop? Are they going to stop? I hope they stop. Ooh, don't let them hit me. Lord, don't let these people hit me.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I would be driving. So when you just made that statement, that went all the way through me.
Yeah.
Because what I just saw in you saying that is I have been operating in some ways on an emotional level, looking in the rearview mirror too.
Exactly. Exactly. It's like
Mm-hmm.
we have to focus on what's in front of us
Mm-hmm.
all the time, because that's where God is. He's in front of us.
Yeah.
He's already there. You got this. Woo! Come on. I'm so excited. Wow.
Let me see. Tracy, I want to know what you said. She says, God, your amazing grace and mercy for allowing this platform of one daughter to tell her testimony to help
Definitely a breakthrough.
another daughter to break through. Yes. I
Seriously.
knew there was something. I mean, God always puts these things together just right.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Rose. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yes.
This has blessed my soul. Like when I was looking over the week, I've been excited about, I have been low key stalking you for a while, just so you know, even though you didn't know me. Even when you were in Chicago, I followed when your book was coming out, when you were doing the launch and all that stuff. So it's been an honor to have you here. And then, especially after such a heavy week for all of us, to have you come on and talk about emotional weight, lifting emotional weight, and looking at exercise not in a way just so you can, stunt this summer, although ain't nothing wrong with us doing that
We can do a little
this
bit of
summer.
both. Amen.
We can do
Because
both. Like those means, first of all, I'm going to do both. But, the idea of using exercise as a way to have soul care. And as we begin to close, I want to ask you, what would you say is if you have to pick one thing, what is one of the best things that we could be doing for our overall well-being during this time? If we didn't do nothing else.
if we didn't do anything else, what is one thing?
Yeah, like what is the
You talking
one
about
thing?
like
Of course, we're
besides
going to be doing
prayer?
over things, but like what should be a priority? Like as we head into this weekend, for our overall well-being, because wisdom for well-beings is about applying wisdom, which is what you definitely brought tonight, and then applying that to life. Anybody can tell us to exercise, but that's not what you were talking about.
Right.
You brought the wisdom for that. So, for our well-being. So what would be that piece, like to focus on, like one thing that we should be doing right now to focus on our overall well-being?
Well, if we're talking about outside of prayer, because I would definitely say to strengthen your prayer life,
Mm,
and strengthen your prayer life, and begin to um, write down what it is that you want
mhm,
for your health and for your wellness, because wellness
mhm.
encompasses so many things. Well, wellness
Right.
encompasses community. Um,
Mhm.
but if we are talking about outside of your prayer life, because I have just been praying, God, free me from the need to know what's going to happen next in my life.
I
And
know that
I've been
too.
praying that for years. um, but God, free me from the need to know what's going to happen next in my life, because we're
There's
never
a
going to.
scripture, by the way. I'll send it to you because I think you'll appreciate it.
Yes,
It's in me, so I can tell you what it says, but I don't know the exact reference, the
yes,
exact address. But it says, since God is on our side, why worry about every little thing that happens along the way? That's the NLT translation of it. And it comforts me because I can be like that too, needing to know
yes,
what's going on.
yes. Um, but I would definitely, say to just take your time to write down what it is that you desire for your wellness. Um,
Mhm.
but also, I just want to leave you with, don't waste this crisis. And I say that in a way of encouragement, meaning that we have this time to be intentional about our prayer life, intentional about our wellness, intentional about our physical, moving our physical bodies, intentional about our minds, intentional about our emotions, so we can literally put the magnifying glass on ourselves. We can literally look at the speck in our own eyes. We can literally check our own emotions and say, how am I doing? Right? We can do a self-assessment. So writing down what it is that we want for our own wellness, and asking God to impart more wisdom into us so that we can be wise, wise. What is, help me?
Wise, well women.
Wise, well women.
Yeah.
But that's really it. So besides, increasing our prayer life, I just want us to really take the time to just write down what it is we want for our wellness. Because sometimes we just keep it all in our head, and I just don't think that's enough in this season. I just want us to write it down, because reflecting is important. And as we reflect, we're able to see how far we have come, whether it be 1 month, because yeah, June 1st is Monday.
I know. and just like that, the year is over.
So, I'm not, I just want to say, write it down. That's it. Without having too many fluffy words, just write down, what do you want for your wellness? What do you want for your body? What do you want for your mind? What do you want for your heart? What do you want for your spirit? Write it down, and make it very plain.
That is so good. Thank you so much for being here. Before you go, I just want to show people again, the book is called Prayers Up, Weight Down.
Yes.
I wanted to have the pages to turn, but you could get this tonight on Kindle if you want. And there's reflection pages in here where you after you read and do the workout and all that kind of stuff, you can go back and do some of this work that she's talking about, which is a deeper soul work. This is not a book just for you to try to, fit into a dress or something. It is really something about like restoration to wholeness. So I thank God for you tonight. You have blessed my soul. Like, you just don't even know. And I know that anybody who sees this on the replay and those who have come, they will say the same. So go follow Coach Caprice, y'all. She has an online virtual training program that you can get yourself involved in. I saw that you even do challenges, just like a 7-day free challenge, I think.
So I have a 7-day jumpstart document. So if you are really new to fitness, really new to nutrition, there are workouts and recipes. So if you go to the link in my bio, you'll get that right away. So there's like breakfast, lunch, and dinner recipes, and then some workouts that you can download. And then there is a 21-day challenge on my website, a bunch of other things. But you can get the book Prayers Up, Way Down on my website too. Yeah. But I thank y'all. Thanks for rolling with us tonight on this wonderful Friday. I hope that it brought you some peace in this time. So I want you to encourage you one more time that your mental health is comprised of your social, emotional, and psychological well-being. So if you are feeling an increase of stress, anxiety, depression, or loneliness or fear, I just want you to take a self-assessment and just do something for your mental health. Walk, write, pray, read, dance, laugh, do something for yourself so that you can get back into alignment, feel more peace, feel more joy, feel more excitement, and that you can just feel well again, y'all.
Yes. Well, thank you. And you guys have a good night. Caprice, I'm going to call you in just a second. Yes. And we appreciate you guys. We will see you next Friday, 6 p.m. Central. Well, actually, in June, y'all, we're going to have a lot of Wise Well Women coming through more often. So we're going to actually have Wise Well Women on Thursday. So I'll see you guys on Thursday, where we'll be talking about dealing with grief. of a lost loved one. So that's going to be encouraging for you too. So see you then. Good night, y'all.
Have a wonderful night. Thank you.